Chapter 3, Smile and Say Cheese. So this chapter, Smile and Say Cheese. Before we start reading, let's flip back a moment. The last chapter was titled Get Jeans, and the chapter before that was titled Becoming Cool. These chapter titles are like little clues of what's to come in this chapter. So right now, what are you expecting to read about or hear about in this chapter titled Smile and Say Cheese? Let's go ahead and share that with your learning coach before we start reading today. There you are, his mother called out as Robbie came into the kitchen. She was loading a roll of film into her camera. Robbie dropped his backpack and sat down at the kitchen table. There was a big pile of pancakes on his plate, his favorite. He leaned over the plate and inhaled the aroma of pancakes. He reached for syrup. His mother snapped the camera shut. She began to wind the knob on the back. His mother took pictures of everything. She had 5 whole scrapbooks filled with pictures of Robbie. All the pictures were carefully labeled. Robbie's first step, Robbie's first toy, Robbie's first birthday cake, Robbie's first everything. Uh-oh. Today was his first day of 3rd grade. His first time on the school bus. She was going to take pictures at the bus stop. Not cool. He could just imagine the school bus pulling up with all the kids looking out their windows. There he would be with his mother, having his picture taken like a baby. His mother couldn't do that to him. Could she? Robbie, I thought I would walk you to the bus stop and take a few pictures. She could. Robbie stared at his pancakes. He wasn't hungry anymore. He was a 3rd grader now. He wanted to go to the bus stop by himself. He did not want his picture taken in front of the busload of kids. She would probably kiss him right there on the street in front of the whole world. He looked at her again. She had on her brightest red lipstick. Smack! He could just imagine it. He tried to think of the right words to say. The words would not come. Oh, Robbie, she continued, your father and I are so proud of you. Starting 3rd grade, riding the school bus. She looked like she was about to cry. He couldn't tell her now. Maybe his dad could help. He looked across the table at his father. Nope. His dad had that "our baby's growing up" look, too. It was hopeless. Smile and say cheese, thought Robbie. Being cool was going to be harder than he thought. He picked up his fork and began to pick at the pancakes. As he ate, he watched his mother get the camera ready. 3 different lenses, 2 filters. Have you seen the tripod? If only he could get to the bus stop without his mother. She walked out of the kitchen. Robbie heard her walk up the stairs. She was looking for the tripod. That should keep her busy for a while. His father was still finishing his coffee, hidden behind the paper. Robbie saw his chance and took it. Bye, Dad, he called and headed for the door. His father didn't look up. Quickly, Robbie headed for the bus stop. It was only 1 block away. He stood on the corner and watched his driveway. If the bus came on time, he would make it. No pictures, no kisses. Would the bus driver ever come? 1 more minute and his mother would be out with the camera. Come on, he thought. Come on. He hoped that the bus wouldn't be late. He closed his eyes. Come on! Robbie heard the bus before he saw it. It came into view around the corner of Cherrywood and Franklin. So I'm going to pause here for a minute. Let's go back and look at some of the ideas that we had about Robbie. So take a look at your chart that you've already started. Based on what we've read so far, can we grow any of these ideas? Is he growing more worried? Is he growing more insecure? Where's the evidence? What in the story is showing us that he might be getting more nervous? I made it, thought Robbie. I made it. No camera, no pictures, no kit. Robbie! Robbie! He saw his mother hurrying down the driveway. A large camera bag hung from her shoulder. He had not made it. Oh, Robbie, I was afraid I was going to miss it. His mother had the camera in her hand. Worse than that, she had just put on more lipstick. Bright red. He could imagine the print of lipstick on his cheek. Kissed by your mom in front of a busload of kids. What an uncool way to start third grade. The bus groaned to a stop. The driver pulled a metal bar and the door swung open. Robbie's mother began snapping pictures. Turn your head a little this way, she said. Robbie ducked as he headed toward the stairs of the bus. His mom smiled. Bye, Robbie, she said. Have a great day. The red lips came forward. He ducked even lower. Smack. Direct hit. His mother had perfect aim. She got him right on the side of the face. He thought he heard a few giggles from inside the bus. His face felt hot. As he hurried up the steps, he heard the camera still clicking. Then, like a sigh of relief, the door hissed and eased shut. At least the pictures and the kisses were behind him now. In his mind, he added another step to being cool on his list. Number 3. No more kisses at the bus stop. He wiped his cheek with the back of his hand and started down the aisle. He could see Doug waving at him from the back of the bus. He moved toward Doug. His first day of third grade was about to begin. Starting now, it was going to be a great year. And that is the end of chapter 3. So it ends with, it's going to be a great year. I feel like we've heard this before. We heard it at the end of chapter 1, we heard it at chapter 2, and now at the end of this chapter. Sometimes writers use repetition, repeating something, to show us that it's important. It's almost like they're saying, hey, pay attention to this. So it's like these are Robbie's thoughts, right? What are you thinking as we finished chapter 3? Okay. What thoughts do you have about Robbie and the start of his third grade school year? Go ahead and jot those in your reading journal.